Welcome to the True Love Secrets Revealed Telesummit. Today, we have with us the most beautiful Susan Treadgold. Susan is an experienced and professionally qualified high-performance executive coach and trainer, international award-winning speaker, #1 best-selling author, and vanishing burnout expert. What a treat. Welcome, Susan, to the
Thank
summit.
you. Thank you, Natalia. It's a pleasure to be here.
My goodness, thank you so much for saying yes. And the main reason why I was so inspired to have you on board and why I looked for you particularly, it's because of your zone of genius. You are so talented and you are so good at so many things, but the two things that I really liked that I would like you to share value with our viewers is this area of confidence and this other area that to me they are separated, but maybe to you no, they are not, of burnout. So let's start with confidence. What can you tell us about that?
Well, you were asking earlier, like how I viewed the difference between confidence and self-esteem. And
Right.
for me, those are kind of different. Confidence for me is more related to decisions and action taking and abilities.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas self-esteem is more about how we feel about ourselves, our self-worth, and our self-respect. And certainly self-esteem does affect our confidence,
Right.
but you know, they're a bit different for me.
Yes, I can see how self-esteem could be informing our confidence.
Right. Exactly.
So not having lacking a little bit in the confidence department can stop us on our tracks from doing anything. I know you work with women that are leaders, that are into business, and they are go-getters. And what do you see that could be the common thread, no pun intended, between them that can affect their confidence?
I mean, there's a big part is imposter syndrome. I mean, there's been research showing that when women put themselves forward for a promotion, they feel like they have to have every single box on the requirements ticked, whereas men feel quite confident putting themselves forward for a role if they have like 40%.
Right.
So women are a little bit more conscientious in that way and hold themselves back. The other thing I think is, which is, I mean, everybody has it, but energy is a big deal. I think it was McKinsey that did a research study a number of years ago on how talented women thrive. And they found that what those women, those confident women that were really successful had in common is that they really managed their energy, because their research showed that when women dipped into their energy reserves, they were more likely to burn out or opt out than men, because often women have not only their job, but they tend to be the main point of contact for childcare as well as the home. So kind of a uniquely draining combination. So women, successful women, high-performing women really need to get their energy dialed in. And when you're more energetic, you feel more confident, don't you?
Absolutely. Susan, hosting this telesummit. I am getting up at 3 a.m. in the morning. You
Oh
know,
my goodness, that's awfully early.
I have noticed how my energy is plummeting by 2 p.m. and I have to keep pushing and my confidence. I don't, being on camera, I start, oh my God, you look old, you look wrinkled, whatever.
Don't say that.
But I know, but that's reality. But it's because I have no energy. That's so interesting. So what is coming up for me beyond that personal sharing that I just did is So energy related to confidence, to imposter syndrome. So historically, what I have been reading in these past 30 years that I have been in this rabbit hole of studying, is that energy, we protect our energy or we regenerate the energy through self-care. Is that right? Because there is another line of work, another line of thought that they say that we regenerate our energy when we actually tap into our creativity, when we do something that we really like painting or dancing, or what is your thought?
Following your passions certainly is
Right.
energetic. In my book, little promo, The High Performing Woman.
Absolutely.
I have an energy model in there, and really everything is energy. And what I like to do is when I work with women, I help to have them establish what is giving them energy and what is draining a hole in their pot of energy. Because if we have a full pot of energy, we can cook up all sorts of great things in our life. And if we let it drain away, you know, we can face burnout. And so I have 6 areas that I look for where we get our energy. And there's our foundational energy, which is the air, food, water, sleep, supplements, light that we put into our body. You're not getting enough sleep, Missy. Sounds like you need to get some more sleep. Then we have move energy. That's our gestures, our body language, our smiles, the exercise we take or don't take. There's the energy we get from pausing, unplugging, getting still. That can be the meditation, the mindfulness piece. We get energy from our space around us, the environments that we put ourselves in, the smells, the sights, the sounds. That can be either energizing or de-energizing. And then we have connection energy, the way we interact and communicate with others, right? That is either going to be, we have, do we have energy angels around us or energy vampires? And the last area is the area of mind energy. And that's the energy we get from the thoughts we think, the images we visualize, how we organize ourselves, and whether we follow our passions or do things that we love, like you were saying there. So I would put that into mind energy. And we know that, like, even from the study of kinesiology, our muscle testing, when we're thinking negative thoughts, it weakens the body. And so when we're out of energy, how are we showing up for other people?
Right.
When we're out of energy, how can we possibly be the best version of ourselves?
Right. Yes. Putting it in this context of the summit that is about dating and relationships, maybe we could talk a little bit of, how important is cultivating good energy, or as I call it, being centered or grounded before going on a date, because we will show up completely different if we are in a good space, and we are going to be a lot more accepting and open and curious to see who this human being is than if we are either closed up energetically, like barriers, or if we are no energy, right?
Absolutely. We have to be responsible for the energy we bring. And if we have a lot of energy, it's so much easier to bring the joy and be present, right?
Right. There are people that you just, like you are such a ray of sunshine, like,
oh, thank you.
we all have the friend. I have my friend Lynette, she's from Scotland, and just being around her, you just feel good. She doesn't have to do anything.
Yeah, she's your energy angel.
Right. She's so amazing. And then there are other people that you just being around them, it's a drug. It's like, so have you ever put any thought on how to really discern? Because sometimes all these things are we can see if we are ourselves, if we are energy angel. I love what you say about energy angels. I never heard of that. I always heard about the vampires, but never about the angels. So how do we know if we are energy angels or vampires? Because we have a tendency to project into people, you know, oh, the date went
Right.
wrong, whatever, and he was the one with yucky energy. But there is a way that we can kind of,
And people tend to reflect back what you're giving off, right? One of the things, I don't know if you can always tell if you are, I mean, you have to be very self-aware and, be able to be present and to be reading the reactions that you're getting from the person that you're with, obviously. But what was I going to say about that? Oh, there's also, I think a big part of that is recognizing extroversion and introversion. So if somebody is an introvert, they get their energy from going within in their internal world of ideas, thoughts, and emotions, spending time on their own, thinking and reflecting. And if you're demanding excessive time with them, that can be de-energizing. So you can often see that in couples. If one's a big extrovert and gets their energy by going out and going to parties, and they're dragging their introverted partner along all the time, they can, even though they may love each other, they may inadvertently being, an energy vampire for that person. So that's one of the things, is really understanding, what is their personality type.
right. That's so important. Wow. Yes. It's about being compatible, and we can't find those things in just 1 week. It's something that takes time to get it out. And talking a little bit more about burnout. So do you have, I'll give you a little bit of context. I have seen many clients that before they hire me, they have been going through this cycle where they go heavy on dating, and they don't know how to date, so it's very hard. And then they stop because they get completely burned out. And then, so they need like a month or more to recover from that. And then they start again. And my approach is more consistency. That's what I teach them, how to date. So how can these ladies, either on dating or at work or with a project, how can they manage their energy and their time in a way that they don't burn out? Or how can they recognize the early signs of burning out?
I think it gets back to being really energy aware. I have this energy wheel in my book, and it's really being aware of the things that are going to energize you and de-energize you, and also trying to sequence them. If you have certain things that you have to do that are de-energizing, don't save them all for a time in the day when you were low energy, or don't bunch all of those energy zapping things at once. Try to sequence them throughout the day so you don't find yourself dipping into your reserves. And I also think it's important to build your no repertoire. You have to say no to some things to say yes to the great things. I don't know. I mean, maybe with the dating, I don't know what advice you're giving, but maybe it's just, you don't have to go out on all of those dates or respond to all of those people. Maybe it's just, or getting good with your no repertoire. I like
that is so
important. Using a certain formula when somebody asks you something that is a no, is to first thank them, like, wow, thank you for thinking of me, and then validate whatever the request is. That would be really great. That dinner sounds really amazing. thank it, thank you for thinking of me. And then just politely decline, and you can practice what you're saying. It could be no, not now, or no, never, but it could be, oh, I wish I could be a body double, but I can't, I'm sorry, or, it depends on the context, but building your no repertoire, and by thanking them and validating them at the beginning, it often makes it easier for the person receiving the rejection to take it.
Right. Oh my God, I love that you just said that. It's so many things are coming up for me when you said that. Number one, how hard it used to be for me to say no. I will just disappear. Instead of saying no, I will just be gone. Like never answer the text. Oh my God. Yeah, not my proudest moment. Thank God for self-development. But yeah, I really couldn't say no. So I was getting in a lot of troubles, or being rude, kind of. What really, really made the difference for me was when I learned how to take a no for an answer myself. When I learned how to do that, everything changed for me, because I was like, oh, that's not bad. I mean, I actually loved it. It was a whole revelation. It was one of the things that made me fall in love with my husband, actually, believe it or not. Completely, different, but I am a little bit of an odd dog. So, but he was the first man that said no. And I was like, oh my God.
You clearly didn't take no.
That was so sexy, Susan. Somebody telling me no. And I'm like, who does this guy think he's going to be happy with me or without me? That's so odd. I want to know more. It got me really curious who this man was that would tell Natalia, no, I have always done whatever I wanted with men, It was so attractive. And yeah, and still today, nobody has said no as much as this man. And I love him for that. And it's sexy. It's kind of, it turns me on a little bit. So that was what did it for me. When I learned how to take a no for an answer and see.
Well, it sounds like you turned that no around.
How so?
Well, I mean, you're married now, so you obviously didn't take no as the answer, right?
Yeah, no, he was saying no to things that were not important to me, obviously,
Oh, okay.
Yes, no, and just you want to come to the party with talking about introverts or extroverts, as you said.
Okay.
He's an introvert, and I am an introvert as well, but I like to go out a little bit more than he does. So I'll be like, let's go to the party, and he's like, no. And I'm like, what do you mean no? No, I'm not going to go, but you can go, but I'm not going to go. And I'm, oh, okay, things like that. Like small things that weren't high in my values that I could go.
Right. He was setting his boundaries and you thought that was attractive.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
While before, they will do whatever I want them to do. Even if they didn't want to, they will comply. Just because, I don't know.
Right. Staying in his masculine with his,
That is so
I can see that. Yeah. Yeah. I can see that.
I love that, saying no. And not only saying no to the date itself, but saying no to all the different activities that we have in order to fill our time, because we are single and we don't have a man. So it's not only saying, oh, I'm going to say no to dinner. It's saying, okay, maybe I do have to say no to taking care of my niece 3 times a week. Maybe it's time for me to use 1 time a week to whatever that is. In this case, it's going on a date. It could be taking a class to grow, to get the promotion at work, or, whatever that important thing at the moment could be. So that's awesome. Anything else you would like to add?
I don't know. I think it gets back to energy. The more energy you have, the more you can be, have, and do in your work, your relationships, your health. So yeah,
Right.
get a plan together, create a personal energy plan.
Can I ask you more of a personal question, and you don't have to answer it, of course. I noticed you talked about the energy, the aspect of energy that has a lot to do with the body. And I am an athlete. I used to compete a lot. I said no
Right,
to that part. I still exercise, but train, but not at a competitive level.
right.
And so I'm huge into supplements and greens. And do you have any favorite supplement that you take, like a green powder or an omega? I don't know, something?
I'm really into biohacking. Being in California, I am at the sort of epicenter of longevity,
I
and
know.
biohacking is using science and technology to maximize your health and energy and longevity. And I use a number of things, and with my clients as well. In terms of the supplement, I use a DNA-based supplement, which is based on what my body needs, my particular body needs. It's called nucleogenics.
Okay.
I also use Brain Tap, which is a brain entrainment device. It's a headset with a little visor, and it uses 5 different technologies to create an algorithm to put your brain in the gear you want it, to wake it up in the morning, to relax it when you're stressed, and to put it into Delta to help you sleep in the evening. And it also has it creates a lot of new neural pathways in terms of behaviors as well. There's lots of programs on that. And I also like LifeWave. I mean, I got one on right now. These are little photobiomodulation patches
Oh
with
my goodness.
with nanocrystals that reflect back your own infrared light back into your body and causes different chemical reactions. There's ones that stimulate your stem cells, so you re-age and recover more quickly. There's ones for energy that were originally developed for the Navy SEALs. There's ones for inflammation. So those are like three of my
Wow. I love that ask you that. Thank you for answering. I didn't know we
yeah.
were going to go so deep. So there is a lot of technology that we can use to help us with that. So
Absolutely. Those are 3 of the ones that I'm an ambassador for. And I mean, there's even a couple more, but I don't want to, monopolize all the time on that. But yeah,
wow, thank you for sharing that. I love it. I'm going to check them out for sure. Thank you.
my
Thank you
pleasure.
so much for being here. And I know you have a little special something or a big special something for our viewers, a free gift. Would
Yes,
you
of
mind
course.
talking
Of
about it?
course. So I have the first 3 my top 3 tips from my book, the high performing woman, and that includes winning your morning, my formula for winning your morning. So
No,
I'm
thank
happy to
you.
share that.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm
Yeah,
going
my
to get it
pleasure.
right away. Thank
Wonderful.
you, Susan. Such a pleasure having you. I am so excited about the viewers listening to our conversation. It's such an important conversation. Without energy, we cannot do anything. Without our health, we are nothing.
This
So
is so true.
it's the foundation of everything.
Absolutely. Thank you
Thank
so much for having me, Natalia.
you. You are welcome.